And there's been, talk about first time, how players respond the first time going to out there. You haven't been there so many times. Is that a benefit, do you think?
Oh, I definitely think it's a benefit. I think that, we've tried to explain to the girls the event that they're about to undertake. There's going to be tens of thousands of people there watching their games. There's going to be tens of thousands of people cheering. Oklahoma's not in it, so there is no hometown favorite. So it'll be our job to interact, and we're going to do the same type of thing with autographs after every game. We're going to throw some T-shirts out there for the folks. I mean, we want the girls to enjoy the moment. We've got some things planned, for them to do and have some fun. But at the same time, they have a real good understanding of why we're going. And that's represent Alabama and the state of Auburn. The University of Auburn in the World Series, and we're excited. Their girls are in signing balls and posters and everything else, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we just tell them, again, it's a softball game that we got to play in a different venue, but it's a softball game. So nothing's going to change. We take care of what we do, and that's going to be the bottom line. How we take care of the things that we're supposed to do will determine our destiny.
Do you prefer opening up against a foe you faced, apparently one so recent, or do you really even care going into a situation like that?
We have 5 SEC teams there. It's just like the conference tournament. We were just upstairs talking. 2 of us in the SEC will not play anybody else, and that's kind of a shame. But it also talks about the strength of the schedule, because we have four teams in the winning on our side, and so the winners play, losers play, and you go from there. So. That's also one reason why the Pac-12 doesn't have a conference team, because they used to be so strong. They've been overtaken by the SEC. The SEC is now clearly the dominant conference, and they play great softball in great venues. And somebody from the SEC will win the national championship this year.
Clint, all your teams that won championships at Central Arizona and Arizona State, was there something they did well at the national tournament you'd like to see this team do?
It's an interesting question. The one thing that in all of the games that we were fortunate to win the last one, the key thing was is like we talked about. They just went out there and they played. They made the most of their opportunities. We didn't squander opportunities. You get somebody in scoring position, they scored, 60–70% of the time. When you can have that kind of a number, those are huge assets to have. So again, we believe in statistics, but they only go so far. The one hit that we had against LSU, the home run by Haley to beat them 1-0, we just had tremendous pitching, and again, we turned 3 double plays in that game. So, defense and pitching, timely hitting is huge, and it's still going to stay there. But the ability to score runners when you have the opportunity, that is just huge. You can't squander those. We can't have bases loaded and leave 18 runners on and expect to win.
How do you, when you've had that issue, how do you overcome that?
Make a lot of substitutions. No, again, it kind of goes down, and there's some truth to that. We're not hitting the ball as well as we are capable. And again, a lot of it is because of the fact that it's just a new experience. And the kids, they're not trying less. If anything, they're trying too hard. And, as a coach, what we try and do is we try and get them to be a little bit relaxed. We try and keep their effort level down. But, you've seen their swings. They're swinging the bats hard. And, we were a little bit more relaxed. So the whole theme of what we've got to do is enjoy the moment. Stay within ourselves, and then just go out and play Auburn softball, and that's knowledge-based and in a comfort zone that will bring out the best possible performance.
It seems like, despite what you're talking about, leading runners on base and all that stuff, you've still won 8 straight games, you still won 12 out of 13, I guess. But
Again, that's kind of been the strength of this ball club. I mean, they figure out ways to win. And again, that was one thing that Corey said at the very beginning. He said, because I keep talking about our best softball to come, and he says, Coach is right, but he says, remember, on any given day, all you have to be is one run better than them. And, whether they're, whatever reason, because of the fact that we're not playing or hitting as well, whatever that reason is, they're still figuring out how to win. And that's a great insight into their character. Because, again, it is about winning. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be a run rule. They just have to win. Because, we're in a setting now where it's if you lose, you go home. So it's they understand. We just got to go out and play now.
When you talk of keeping them loose so that they aren't pressing in those spots, is there something specific you tried to do this past weekend?
I don't know. I may have to reenact my little rapping session or something. I'm not sure, but thanks to one young lady who talked me into doing it. No, I mean, again, it's just the idea of trying to keep the nerves down and trying to keep the breathing down and those kinds of things. And we've been doing it a long time, and it's the ability to understand words and to then kind of get your own mindset. Understand that there's 2 teams that haven't been in the College World Series with any of their players yet. That's us and UCLA. It's the first time for UCLA in 5 years, so there's nobody returning. So us 2 teams, our 2 teams, have no experience to draw back on. And everybody else that's in the World Series has been there in the last couple of years, and it's they have something that they can say, hey, remember when. Well, next year when we're at the College World Series, we'll have that opportunity to say, remember, this is what we did, this is how we did it, and you should be a little bit more relaxed because they're not going to be running out on the field for the first time in front of 20,000 people. It's the ability to get the mindset to the point where you're going to be able to have optimal performance.
You've been there 7 different times. Is there anything you try to do with each team off the field that's carried on, maybe a ritual for you of any sort? Is there anything you do there to?
I'm not much into superstitions and things like that. The couple things we will go to Oklahoma City Museum and see the bombing because that was something real and it's part of history, and we'll see it at night. It's kind of eerie at night with the lights and things like that. Then during the day we'll take them into the museum because it is it is a part of history. It's kind of sad history. But it is something we do. We'll let them see Bricktown, and there's some other places that we'll have some fun and do some things with, and they'll have some family time. But no, there's not just one thing that we do. There is a great ice cream shop there, and we do get that every time. So that might be a ritual, but other than that, really there isn't a whole lot of things that we do all the time.